Ladies and gentlemen, the day is finally here. We have officially have a Superman movie worthy of being talked about. Now, I shouldn't say it like that, but there's been so much drama in the past 12 years with Superman, but I want to talk about this particular Superman with David Cornsweet. He is our new Superman. And actually, Clark Kent just wrote an article about Superman in today's Daily Planet. You really should check it out. He's an excellent writer for the Daily Planet. Lois Lane is on there too. But let's go ahead and take a moment and talk about the new Superman movie that came out on July 11th. I'm going to tell you right now, this is a spoiler-heavy review, so if you want to go see the movie and then come back and listen to what I have to say about this, then you should do that. But it's spoiler-heavy, so give yourself a moment. We're going to go ahead and talk about it now. Let's go. I'm going to tell you out the gate, this Superman movie is probably one of the best Superman movies that I've seen since Superman 1 and 2, and that's Christopher Reeve's Superman. I like Man of Steel. I do. I think it was great. There were a lot of elements for me that was missing, but this movie, this Superman movie by James Gunn that just came out, this has those elements. Let's go ahead and start off with the simple thing. This guy, David Cornsweet, he's our new Superman. I love this guy. Remember, the DCU is doing a complete change right now, and this is the start of the new DC universe, cinematic universe, but it's just called DCU. This guy is going to head up the new DCU as Superman. I love this idea. I love the way he does. He gives Clark Kent a little bit of hope. He gives Clark Kent vulnerability. It's literally, he hits on all the versions of Clark Kent we've seen over the past 30 years. And what I mean by that is there's been so many iterations of Superman over the past 30 to 40 years, whether it's Lois and Clark, whether it's Smallville, whether it's My Adventures with Superman, just the regular Superman cartoon, whether it's Krypton. It's almost like he does everything in this one movie. So there is something for everybody who is a Superman fan. I want to start off with the Clark and Lois relationship. Just the first 15 minutes of the movie, they're doing a back and forth, and she's doing an interview with Clark because Clark has been doing interviews with himself as Superman and getting promoted through the Daily Planet. And she makes a suggestion that he probably shouldn't do that before people start to recognize that Clark Kent and Superman is the same person. So he said, well, why don't you interview me? So Lois really gives Clark and challenges him. She challenges him as a man. She's not intimidated by who he is as Superman. She asks the hard-hitting questions. That scene that you've seen in the trailer, one of the first trailers, where she does that interview, that's the scene that I'm talking about. It's fantastic. It's literally just 10 minutes of her asking questions and him going back and forth and him getting frustrated. But she's also trying to be the best journalist possible. But also she's trying to challenge Superman because maybe not enough people challenge him, which is a fair thing. You know, she is a woman who's going to challenge him in every way possible. And I think that if you're not in a relationship and you're not being challenged, it's probably an unhealthy relationship because it's one-sided. So I say that to say that's one of the best things about this movie is the way that Clark and Lois relate to each other. We also get a group of superheroes that show up. And those superheroes would be known as the Justice Gang. Now, the Justice Gang is comprised of a couple of superheroes. It's going to be Hawk Girl. It's going to be Green Lantern. It's going to be Mr. Terrific right here, right? Now, they work for a company on their own, so they don't work with, they work to help clean up things in Metropolis when they go bad, but they don't care for the people like Superman does. So what Superman is able to teach the Justice Gang, Mr. Terrific, Green Lantern, and Hawk Girl, is how to care for people, how to put them first, how to go ahead and make sure that humanity, not just humanity is taken care of, but all people who are living are taken care of, and how to work as one. And so that's really beautiful because you see that, like I said, this particular Green Lantern, which we're working specifically with Guy Gardner. For those of you who don't know, the Green Lantern Corps is a group of basically super cops. And I always tell people, hey, if you don't know who they are, do your research. I like to go ahead, when I don't know something, I like to go ahead and go into my DC encyclopedia and find out some information. So if we're going ahead and talking about the Green Lantern specifically that we're going to talk about is Guy Gardner. Now, he's one of the Green Lanterns, and Guy Gardner specifically, not a nice person. He's not a person that you want your kids to be around. But Guy Gardner has been donned the lantern ring, and he is a Green Lantern. And so in that case, we find out that Guy Gardner is not really on the side of Superman, which is fine, I guess, right? Because why should everybody side with Big Blue, which is what Guy Gardner calls him? Why should everybody side with Big Blue? But I say that to say Guy Gardner is probably one of the best characters right after Mr. Terrific, because Mr. Terrific works directly with Superman. He's an ally to Superman. He adds something. He's the brains of the operation. And what I love to see is this black man basically help Superman where he's not able to do his own thing. You know, he's definitely the tech guy, but he's more than just the tech guy. He is also brains and bronze, the combination of both, where Superman might be the brawn, but Mr. Terrific is the brain. Now, why they turned Mr. Terrific into, like, he talks like Shaft or Black Dynamite.
Who the hell is interrupting my kung fu?
If you've never seen one of those movies, then you probably have no idea what I'm talking about. But for whatever reason, they got him talking like Shaft and Black Dynamite. But it's super funny, and it works for the movie, and I laughed every time. Like, he was like, I don't need your help. God damn it, I'm Mr. Terrific. I was like, okay, fine by me. That's cool. I immediately was like thinking it was going to be like, boom, chicka, boom, I'm Mr. Terrific. You know, like, that's what I thought was going to happen. And but Mr. Terrific might be one of the best characters in the entire movie outside of Superman and Lois. And I think that we definitely need to see more of Mr. Terrific. Guy Gardner, he's going to be in the Green Lantern show that's going to come out next year. So you'll see him interacting with other Green Lanterns. Your Kyle Reiner, who was at one point played by Ryan Reynolds. You'll see him interact with Jon Stewart, which this will be the first time we see a full Jon Stewart on the screen that's not animated. So Jon Stewart is the Black Green Lantern that we've seen in iterations of Justice League, all animated, but this will be the first time we see him in a live action. So it'll be really important to see him. The Hawk Girl, we've seen Hawk Girl and Smallville and other live iterations, but this version of Hawk Girl, she doesn't care. At one point she kills somebody, and I don't think Superman knows, but when he does find out that she's out here killing people, he's gonna have a problem with that, because he doesn't do that. So I go to say that because as we're starting to build the Justice League, they're not even called the Justice League. In the article written by, let's see who wrote this article. It looks like this article was written by Jimmy Olsen. The photo was taken by Jimmy Olsen about the Justice Gang, and basically, yeah, the Justice Gang is going to eventually probably change their names to something a little bit more, fluid. I'll just say that. What we have also is the Daily Planet, why we're reading their paper. The Daily Planet, I think we needed more with the Daily Planet because it's full of characters that we know from the comics. So we got Cat Grant, which might be the best character of all time. I love Cat Grant in this movie. She's amazing. She's fantastic. She's a fantastic actress. Give the girl who played Cat Grant an Oscar, because she was fantastic in everything that she did. I just loved her. Don't know where she got her acting chops from, but every time she came on the screen, she was riveting. Perry White, I think we needed more from Perry White. I think there was probably some things that were cut, but I can't wait to see him again. I can't wait to see Jimmy Olsen. We all know who Jimmy Olsen is. He's a small photographer at the Daily Planet. He's always hanging around Lois Lane and Clark Kent. This Jimmy Olsen has been done so differently, where he is not only just hanging around them taking pictures, but he's also quite the ladies' man. And I love that for Jimmy Olsen. I love that evolution in the character, where he's never really been a ladies' man, but they made him one in this movie, and it works perfectly. It is fantastic how they, like I said, sprinkled these characters around the Daily Planet. And so I hope when there's a second movie, we get to spend more time in the Daily Planet. But we cannot talk about Superman without talking about Lex Luthor. Nicholas Hoult playing this Lex Luthor, this might be, and I'll say it, this might be the best Lex Luthor we have seen in a very long time. I believe that this version of Lex Luthor could go from movie to movie, because this guy is maniacal, he is mean, he is manipulative, he is jealous, he is envious, he is all of those things. At one point in the movie, he kills somebody who helped Superman, and he literally uses the guy to try and get answers out of Superman and plays Russian roulette with this guy's life. And literally he kills him and is like, I didn't think it was going to happen that fast, but whatever. And then goes on about his day. He literally pulls the trigger on the guy and shoots him in the head. I was like, wow, I did not see that coming at all. That's pretty dark for a comic book movie. But then there's so much levity within this movie, i.e. Crypto. Every time the movie gets dark, Crypto shows up, and he is a breath of fresh air. I thought it was going to be really stupid to have Crypto in this movie, because I don't find Crypto to be one of Superman's better allies. But in this movie, Crypto's fantastic. That is the cutest dog. If I bred dogs, let me tell you, if you're a dog breeder, I would be going out there getting your 2 dogs right now and be selling them as Crypto dogs so that you could go ahead and make money. A lot of people are going to want that dog in the next 6 months to a year, simply because Crypto is so adorable. So like I said, if you're a dog breeder and you can find out how to get these things going and get you some of them Crypto puppies, you will be set in this economy right now, because you can live your life off of dogs that just doing it doggy style and selling them puppies and doing what you got to do.
Side by side with your loved one, you'll find on the
So look, I'm not asking for a cut, but if you do decide to do that, just, hey, name one of your puppies Chonzo. I would be fine with that. That's all you got to do. Now let's go ahead and talk about the beauty of what Crypto is, because Crypto is unruly, Crypto is untrained. They talk about that in the movie, and the beauty of this is what happens at the end of the movie is that you end up finding out Crypto belongs to his cousin. And if you don't know who Superman's cousin is Kara, Supergirl. She's been running around the galaxy getting drunk, going from planet to planet getting drunk, and she left her dog with Kal-El, Clark, Superman. She left her dog with him, and that's why the dog is so undisciplined. And you find out she comes in and she's like, where's my dog? And you're like, what? Supergirl's here? That makes sense why this dog is so misbehaved, because it belongs to Supergirl. So that is great. For those of you who don't know, there is a Supergirl movie coming out next year in June. So we only got 11 months to wait for the new Supergirl movie. And that's the thing that is wonderful, is they're really building the universe of the DCU, and they're doing it quickly, but they're also doing it with characters we don't always see. A lot of us have never seen Mr. Terrific on screen before. A lot of us, I don't know if we've ever seen a Guy Gardner. You may have seen Hawk Girl before. We've seen different iterations of Supergirl, but I'm confident this is going to be completely different than what we've seen before. So I think that I think a lot of people who have talked trash about DC, and rightfully so. A lot of their movies have been misses. No, they haven't been hits. They've been misses. I think people are gonna come back around and really appreciate and respect the DC universe, because there's a lot of greatness that comes out of the DC universe, and it just has yet to have really been tapped into. And I think James Gunn is setting it up. Like I said, this Lex Luthor, I could see this Lex Luthor working with the Joker. I could see this Lex Luthor going in and trying to get Granny Goodness or Darkseid or Brainiac or Parasite or Toyman. And I'm just naming off Superman villains that are coming to mind, because this version of Lex Luthor is so crazy that he's going to go ahead and work with those types of villains, because that he's that desperate to take down Superman. That's what this movie is about. He's really trying to take down Superman, and he uses it with a character called Ultraman. Ultraman is basically an evil Superman. He's got Superman's DNA, and that's what you see in the movie, is that Ultraman is just kicking the crap out of Superman, but you find out that Ultraman has been cloned with Superman's DNA, and so that's why he's going ahead and kicking the crap out of him in the movie. In the previews, you're like, who could be doing this? It's Ultraman. Ultraman is nothing but a clone of Superman working for Lex. It's fantastic. The action is fantastic. Lex is, like I said, this is the best version of Lex I might say I've ever seen, which is scary because there's 85 years of Superman. This might be the best version of Lex I'll say it's the best version since Smallville, since Michael Rosenbaum. I'd have to go back and check every other Lex Luthor, but this Nicholas Hoult is fantastic, and I can't wait to see him again. He is so good as Lex Luthor, and he's so creepy in every sense of the word, and he's unhinged in every way, and it's actually quite scary. I want to also highlight, actually that's it. When I think about it, that is it. This movie is fantastic. The action is fantastic. This movie is a movie about hope. This movie also, the relationship between him and his parents, not only his Kryptonian parents, but his actual parents, the Kents. This version of the Kents, they feel old. They feel like they're not going to be around in the Superman universe for quite a long time. That's how old they feel. But in a way where it feels like they, like Clark Kent is going to have to go home and check on them on a regular basis. He's not going to just be able to stay in Metropolis. Mind you, in this version of Superman, he's only been around for 3 years. So this is a very new Superman, but I can't wait to see more of this and see how he builds out the team. Like I said, with Mr. Terrific, with Guy Gardner, Green Lantern, with Hawk Girl, with Metamorpho. I forgot Metamorpho is in this movie. And he ends up making a turn in this movie that it becomes part of the team of the Justice Gang. He's not in this paper because he was not there at the time where this article was written. But he ends up being part of the team, and Metamorpho is an extremely important part. And so you realize how everybody was banding together, especially the people at the Daily Planet, Cat Grant, Perry White, Jimmy Olsen, Lois Lane, they all band together because they got to save Superman in this movie. And this movie is so good. I'm just so happy that Superman is finally getting the respect that he deserves. And it's taken with such care that if you are a fan of Superman of any point, you're going to love this movie. So I say that to say, make sure you go pick up your Daily Planet so you can read about the articles that Clark Kent and Lois Lane and Cat Grant wrote, some of these beautiful pictures from Jimmy Olsen, because this movie is fantastic. Look, I want to tell you guys, be kind to everybody, right? Except the racists, because we don't have time for them. And remember, never forget that the S, this is not an S for Superman, it's an S for for hope. So never forget, don't lose hope in whatever it is that you're trying to do and whatever it is that you're trying to be, because Superman is a symbol for hope. So I hope that all of you have a great day. I hope that all of you stay away from antagonizing weird people and racists on the internet. Take care of yourselves.